Welcome to Homework Starter for Chapter 18. Let me share my screen. And this is question 1. And so for this question, it says, oops, one second. My Google device was going off. Not sure why. Um, so it says, following are 4 graphs representing various cost behaviors. One second, I'm trying to get this pop-up screen to move. Okay. Then it says identify whether the cost behavior in each graph is mixed, stepwise, fixed, or variable. Okay. And then part 2 says identify the graph 1, 2, 3, or 4 that best illustrates the cost behavior for each of the following. And it gives you some scenarios. So let's go. So graph 1, this is variable. It's variable because it starts at 0, and as the volume goes up, which is along your horizontal axis or your x-axis, your costs go up, which is along your y-axis or your vertical axis. So graph 1 we would call variable. Graph 2 now is fixed because no matter what the volume is, the cost remains the same. Okay, you have a horizontal line. So this is fixed. Graph 3, this is going to be mixed because you see at a certain point, the cost and the volume is the same. That's why it starts a little ways up on the y-axis. But then as the volume goes up from there, from that point onward, the cost also goes up. So that one is going to be mixed. And then the last one is stepwise. So at a particular volume, you have a particular cost. Then if you go to another set of volume, you have more costs. You take it up a step further to additional volume, you have more costs. So this one is called stepwise. Okay. Part 2, identify the graph that best illustrates the cost behavior for each of the following. So the first one says factory policy requires 1 supervisor for every 10,000 units produced. So up until 10,000, it could be 0 units, it could be 1 unit. Well, not 0, but it could be 1 unit, it could be 2, it could be 100. No matter how many units between 1 and 10,000, it's going to have fixed costs of 1 supervisor. When you go up to another level now, beyond 10,000, so 10,000 and 1 to 20,000, you're going to have 2 supervisors. So now you have an additional fixed cost. So this is going to be a stepwise cost strategy. Okay. B says real estate taxes on factory. So real estate taxes, they stay the same no matter how much you produce. Yes, real estate taxes do go up each year based on other factors, but it's not based on how much is produced within the factory. So we consider that to be a fixed cost. And this one should actually say graph 4. The fixed cost was graph 2. Step part 3 says electricity charge that includes the standard monthly charge plus a charge for each kilowatt hour. So it has a standard cost that you pay no matter what. So whether you use electricity or not, you're going to pay that amount. Let's say it's $100. But then from there, you get charged for each kilowatt after that. So this is going to be a mixed graph, which is graph 3. And then leather used in making shoes. So the amount of leather you use depends on the amount of shoes that you produce or the number of shoes you produce. So this is going to be variable, which would be graph 1. And that is question 1.